This is a short video explaining how you can set sample accurate latency compensation for external hardware in Samplitude and Sequoia. For that we need a very basic project with just one audio track, our effect send and our effect return that we set up with the short key I in the external effect setup. In my case it's a multi-phase analog 5/6 send and return. Please make sure you have your external hardware set to bypass or have your inputs and outputs of your interface connected directly with a patch cable. Also check your mixer and make sure your audio track is routed to effect send 1 and your effect return is set to monitor and record. Also make sure your timeline is set to samples and your time display units of measurements are set to samples as well. As our own ping signal, we need one sample. You get that sample by clicking on Effects, go to Waveform Generator, select Rectangle, then click OK. I've already done that here. Zoom in to see one sample. Then make sure all your fades are set to 0, otherwise you won't be able to cut down to one sample. And cut out just one sample. I've also set 2 zoom levels, one that shows me the sample near enough and the other one that shows me play, start and sample in a more or less useful way. Now let's get to the actual measuring of our latency. For that we hit I again, go to external effects, activate our effect loop and detect the latency of the current effect. Samplitude or Sequoia have now detected the latency of the external effect loop. You can see that here. Hit OK. Next I do is I set the play cursor to the play start position and hit record. Once the signal is recorded, I jump back to my sample and I zoom into the session. As you can see, there's an offset between the actual sample and the recording of the return signal. So what you do now is you just open a range from the beginning of the sample in your audio track to the beginning of the sample in your record track. As you can see, the range length is 16 samples in my case. Hit I again, go to external effects and take those 16 samples and add them to the measured latency, which in my case would be 2145. Click OK. I zoom out again, erase the track that I recorded before, jump to my play start position and hit record. I go back to my sample position, zoom into the project and I can see it's sample accurate. Go back to the external effect settings and now you can actually copy this value into each latency field for the same converter. If you're using different converters, you should repeat the measurement as they can have an offset in between them. For example, I know that Ferrofish and RME converters have an offset of 2 samples. That's it. Thanks for watching.